Alright guys, thanks for tuning in to this part 2 video. So in the last video we went through editing my photos, so now we are going to edit all of your cool photos. So I have Lightroom open here already. Wow, that is stunning. I was actually here for the first time this summer and it is gorgeous. This is a really great photo. I love the mountains so much. Wish I was there right now. Anyways, this one was submitted by Paul. Instagram link somewhere here or in the description. You know how it is. The first thing I'm gonna do is crank up the exposure so we get the foreground exposed. Yeah, this looks about good to me. I'm going to bring down the highlights just so our sky isn't overexposed, but just a little bit. Yeah, that looks good to me. And bring down the whites just a touch. Actually, I'll bring them up. Yeah, crush the blacks a bit. Maybe bring out the shadows. Next, I'm gonna bring up the clarity, but not too much because that starts to look a little weird in my opinion. I'm gonna bring up this dehaze just a touch. Yeah, that looks pretty good to me. I'm gonna add a bit of fade as I always do. Just like that. So just so you know, you can see like that. Just a bit. Cool. Now I'm gonna crank up these greens, just make them, just really nice, you know. Not that they weren't already nice, but it's editing. Cool. And then now, I like the lake color, but I just wanted a deeper blue here. And just teal down the sky a touch, very, very little. And make these oranges more orange. The reds, yellows, yeah, I'll bring them down a touch. Cool, I'm gonna actually desaturate these greens a bit, crank them up some more. Yeah, just like that is great. Okay, in luminance, I'm gonna bring down the blue, so it'll kind of bring back our sky a bit, but I don't wanna go too ham, otherwise it starts to look weird. And in turn, I'm going to desaturate the sky blue just a bit. That looks great to me. I'm gonna bring up the exposure, give it a bit more contrast. Yeah, that looks good. Cool. I am gonna add some sharpening and noise reduction because the ISO was a little high. I mean, it's a Sony, so probably crank that up all the way. Oh wow, that is weird. That like totally ruins my edit. Yeah, this is a good thing to show that you should always open these lens corrections first because that happens. All right, well, we gotta go back to the drawing board. Bring down the exposure a bit. I'm actually gonna add some more contrast because for some reason it made it a bit washed out. Give it some more dehaze. Yeah, that looks good to me. Bit more on the exposure, bring down those highlights. Yeah, I'm liking how that looks. I'm gonna bring up the vibrancy here just a touch. And I'm gonna add some orange in the split toning shadows. Let's go green and see what that looks like. No, not really. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stick with orange. Looks the best in my opinion. For highlights, I'm gonna go green or blue. Yeah, like a touch of green, barely anything. Cool, I'm gonna bring up these oranges a bit more. Yeah, and last but not least, a vignetting. And 4:5 crop for the gram. I kind of just want everything in the center here. Anything that's important to be in the center. So that's the mountains and these boats or kayaks or whatever. Yeah, I think this is kind of where I would leave this photo. Here is the before and after. I might actually show you guys a really cool trick. So let's say our sky was kind of like that. What you can do is bring in a gradient filter. I'm just gonna reset these settings here. Yeah, and bring down the exposure a bunch. So it looks kind of jank right now, but if you go down here to range mask, turn it on, go to luminance, and show the luminance mask, you can kind of see where the exposure is affecting. So right now it's kind of affecting everything, but if you bring smoothness down and adjust the range, so this is the like the darker part, the shadows, the blacks and whatever, these are the highlights on this end. And if you just bring this up, it'll start affecting only stuff in the white, you know, highlights area. So if we take this off, pretty cool. So if I bring this back, you can kind of see it's just affecting the sky and the clouds. And you can even go further. Yeah, but that starts to look weird. That looks good to me. Cool. Yeah, thanks a bunch, Paul, for your submission. Really appreciate it. I love your photos, and let's go to the mountains together.